Satanism in music is nothing new and has had parents freaking out about what their children are listening to for decades. Genres like rock, heavy metal, and horrorcore are all known for their heavy amounts of satanic imagery and lyrics. But these themes also exist in rap and have for a while. Since the 90s, artists like Big L and groups like 3 Mafia have been pushing out content with similar themes that even resulted in songs being banned from the radio. With today's generation being influenced by all these artists and genres, the satanic themes seem to bleed through even more. Most notably, artists like Lil Uzi Vert, Tyler the Creator, and Lil Nas X have all used satanic imagery in their art or music. So are all of these rappers demonic Satan worshippers who sold their souls for fame, or is there a bit more to the picture? I think there's a bit more, and that people that think otherwise are a little bit too caught up in the fear and hysteria of these images. So today I will be explaining Satanism's relationship with rap and why I think sometimes it can be overblown. First of all, rappers use these satanic images and lyrics for shock value. This is probably one of the most common uses of Satanism in rap. But why does Satanism have so much shock value in the first place? Well, to understand why people freak out so much about satanic imagery, we have to understand the prominence of Christianity in the United States. The country was founded with this religion in mind and has been heavily influenced by its beliefs. In 2019, 65% of the adult population in the United States identified as Christian. Although that number may be going down as of late, these ideologies have been heavily ingrained into American culture. Also, if you are somehow unaware, Satan is the bad guy in the Christian faith who is often associated with all things bad. With that being said, Satanism is generally frowned upon, thought of as evil, scary, and anti-God. Although these beliefs have loosened up a bit recently, people were a lot more concerned a few decades ago. In 1993, Big L released a song called Devil's Son with lyrics like "I'm rolling with Satan, not Jesus Christ," resulting in the song being banned from the radio. 3 Mafia even had to change their name from 666 Mafia after signing to a label. So based on instances like these, it's pretty obvious that the public was not a fan of Satan in rap. So we understand why it's shocking to some, but how do rappers use this shock value? For a while now, rappers have been using Satan's shock value for publicity and controversy. A recent example would be Lil Uzi Vert. Uzi is known for saying a variety of crazy things, like at the concert where he told fans they were going to hell with him. You can bet he got a whole lot of attention for that. He's also used satanic imagery throughout his career, like the number 666 and upside down crosses. He also had a lot of controversy for his use of imagery from the Heaven's Gate cult that is known for their mass suicide in 1997. But is Uzi really a Satanist, or is he just heavily influenced by the aesthetic of the metal artists he's a huge fan of, like Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie? That I can't say for sure, but Marilyn Manson himself has even spoken on how America has a misconception of Satanism and that he is misunderstood. According to Manson, it doesn't mean worshiping the devil and promoting evil, but instead is about individuality and being your own god. Regardless, it seems like Uzi was using these concepts and imagery both because of his metal influence, for shock value, and for the aesthetic. Aesthetics are another large reason rappers use satanic imagery. For example, Playboi Carti recently released controversial merch that was riddled with satanic imagery like upside down crosses and pentagrams. Again, whether or not Playboi Carti worships Satan I can't say, but it seems more likely that he's using the imagery for his whole vampire aesthetic. And to be fair to him, the merch does look pretty dope. Lots of rappers have used this imagery for the aesthetic. Eminem used to do the little devil horns, Suicide Boys have used multiple images and lyrics, and Trippie Redd even released merch with devil horns and tails. Trippie Redd in specific said he was even raised Christian, so it's more likely the merch he released was demon themed because he thought it looked cool. There are even more people using these images and symbols in the underground rap scene for both shock value and aesthetic. This is nothing new to music as a whole, especially when artists like Lil Uzi Vert and Playboi Carti are clearly influenced by bands that use this imagery. So now that we understand the shock value and the aesthetic of Satanism, let's talk about the symbolism. First off, many rappers use this imagery as a way of playing a character. Like I mentioned earlier, although he hasn't explicitly stated it, Playboi Carti really just seems to be into this vampire character. Other rappers like Big L and DJ Paul from 3 Mafia have said themselves that they were portraying characters on their songs rather than promoting some sort of evil ideology. DJ Paul even went to church every Sunday, so I doubt he was a Satanist just because of some lyrics. Similar to how some rappers will tell stories from the perspective of others, like Eminem on Stan, that's what many rappers do when using satanic lingo. Even more commonly, a lot of rappers use Satan as a representation of evil. Tyler the Creator was not only known for being extremely vulgar, but also for his satanic imagery. He would use symbols like upside down crosses and 666 in his music and art often, leading people to believe that he was a devil worshipper. In response to this, he said on the song Goblin, "Oh, that's a 336, isn't he a devil worshipper? Cause I'm too ignorant to do some research." He also said that his grandma once told him he was from hell since he was so evil, so he took that and used it in his art. Satanic imagery is clearly just a representation of evil in Tyler's instance. He has even made it known multiple times that he is an atheist, and I'm pretty sure to believe in Satan, you must also be a theist. Another more recent example is Lil Nas X, who sparked a huge controversy over his music video and his Satan shoes. Everyone was freaking out about Lil Nas's shoes and his music video where he is having having some fun with Satan. But similar to Tyler, Lil Nas was just using Satan to represent the evil that he felt he was because he is gay. He says he grew up thinking that if you are gay, Satan is to blame, which is why he chose this imagery. Again, in this instance, I doubt that Lil Nas X is an actual devil worshipper, but instead wanted to spark up some controversy to get his name out there for his upcoming album. Satanism is much more often used as a symbol of rebellion than it is used literally. Another satanic symbol that I think has been misconstrued in rap is the phrase sold their soul to the devil. Way too often in rap do I people say that rappers have sold their souls for success and mean it in a literal sense. The idea of selling your soul symbolizes doing anything no matter how bad to be successful. It doesn't mean actually signing some sort of contract with the devil or engaging in any satanic activity, although again, Satan and evil do go hand in hand. So now that we understand that Satan is often used as a symbol to represent evil or a variety of other things, we can now look at my final point, which is that Satan means different things to different people. People's varying perspectives on Satan can make it extremely confusing when discussing Satanism. Like I said earlier, many hold the Christian outlook, causing them to automatically assume that these images are evil, when the people that are using them don't imbue the same meaning into their art. Different rappers are using upside down crosses for a variety of different reasons and meanings. It doesn't mean they're all part of the same Satan worshipping organization or cult. Tyler, the Creator, for example, who I mentioned earlier, is openly an atheist. If he doesn't believe in God or Satan, his imagery clearly doesn't have the same inherent meaning as someone who openly believes in and worships Satan. Ironically enough, Tyler and the rest of his friends were also spray painting swastikas next to their upside down crosses, and I doubt any of them are Nazis. The same logic can be applied to those symbols. They were just being edgy and using the Nazi imagery for shock value. Satan, satanic imagery, and Satanism can mean a variety of different things for different people. It could mean evil, it could be a symbol, it could be an aesthetic, or it could have no meaning and just be used for shock value. I can't say for certain whether or not these rappers are actually Satanists, but I can offer up perspective and use context clues to get a better idea of their beliefs. Using those context clues and a little bit of common sense, it's fairly obvious that the majority of these rappers are probably not Satanists. But again, I don't know their hearts, I don't know their minds, and it's possible they are. I just want to offer up a little bit of perspective. With that being said, that doesn't mean that I personally would buy Carti's merch because that's not something that I want to represent, but it also doesn't mean that Carti is using these designs for anything more than an aesthetic. If you had all throughout this video thought that I was advocating for Satanism or satanic imagery, I was not. I personally am not a fan of that stuff and I don't really want to represent that, but I did want to present this situation as objectively as possible, and I think I did a decent job. If you enjoyed this video, you might like my essay where I talk about the significance of sampling in hip-hop and why people that say sampling is easy are wrong. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been Matty Balls, and I'll see you guys next time.